Okay, so let's take a look at this problem here. We have f of x equal to the integral from 7 to x of 4 cosine squared t over t dt. What you've been asked to do is to find the derivative of this thing with respect to x, okay? So if I'm going to take the derivative of the left side, I'm going to take the derivative of the right side. And the trick here is that the derivative and the integral cancel out. It's much like the relationship between these operations here. So the radical and the squared, in a sense, cancel out. Well, there's one minor detail here that we're going to make sure that we focus on here. When these expressions, when these operations cancel out, we're left with cosine squared x over x. And this would be my answer. Now the tricky part, the thing that a lot of people have a hard time with is, well, how on earth did that happen? So let me just kind of walk you through what we would do. If we were going to do this problem, from sort of the start, taking the antiderivative, then that's what we would do, right? You recall, we go in and we take the antiderivative. Okay, and I'm just going to abbreviate with the integral sign here. And the second thing I would do is plug in x and 7, and I subtract those values. Okay, so again, that's going back to what we looked at in some of the previous sections here. So I'm going to take these expressions, these boundaries here, I'm going to plug those in for t's, and then I subtract those, and I get this expression that involves x and 7. Well, the thing about it is, 7 is going to give me some constant, okay? 7 will yield some constant. And when I take the derivative of 7, I just get 0. So that's why there's nothing involving, 7 up here. Well, the other thing to remember is that we took the antiderivative, we plugged in x, and now I'm going to go in to finish my problem out, and I'm going to turn around and take the derivative. Well, when I do that, it's basically going to undo what I did up here. So I'm just left with simply plugging this variable in for t, and then the thing is, we're going to multiply by the derivative of x with respect to x. And in this case, that's just 1. So this is the answer. Now, if we take a look at another example right here, now you can see that our expressions are a little more complicated, right? We've got the radical x here. So if I said, what's the derivative of this thing? Well, then the derivative would be 1 over the square root of x plus 8. But now I have to multiply by the derivative of square root of x with respect to x. So let's find that, right? The derivative of x to the 1/2 with respect to x is 1/2 x to the negative 1/2, or 1 over 2 radical x. So we could rewrite our answer like this. Radical x plus 8 times 1 over 2 radical x. Maybe written a little bit simpler, or you could go in and distribute here. You would have these two things multiplied together would give me 2x plus 16 radical x. So I would think either one of these would be acceptable, but more than likely we're going to be looking to type in that as our answer. Hopefully this gave you a little bit of insight as to what we're doing and why. Again, if you have questions, let me know. Take a look at the other videos and see if they help you out. I'm always here to help, so send me a message. I'll be glad to reach out.